Hello, you are welcome to this channel for today's tutorial. I'm so happy to have you here.
Nice to meet you. Come on in.
Here on this channel, we basically drop tutorial video concerning multimedia and how we can improve our church service. Therefore, consider to hit the subscribe button so you will not be left out anytime, any day we drop the next one. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming.
Here in today's video, we are going to continue from where we stopped in our last video, which is how to edit our summary. If you have not watched the part 1 and the part 2 of this video, I'm going to drop the link down in this video description so we can be on the same page. Yeah, like I promised in our last video that the part 3 will be on how to edit the outro, and that which we are going to discuss in this video. And at the end, we are going to combine the 3 videos together to see how it looks. I believe you don't want to mix out on our next content, which is how to edit our church program video, and which I'm going to give you my template. Therefore, consider to hit the subscribe button so you can stay updated. Thank you. Yeah, welcome. This is the program we want to use, Adobe Premiere Pro. So as you can see, in this case, we don't have a timeline, no sequence. So we are going to come to this place and we come to sequence. We come to setting over here. We click on this place and we come to custom. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be using 23.976 and my frame size, it will be 1080 and 1920, and I will change this to square. From here I will change this to no feed, and I will call this sequence outro sequence because we are trying to create the outro. Now that this sequence has been created, the next thing to us to do is to look at the outro. As you can see, this is what we want to replicate here. We have the foreground, we have the background, and we have all these social media handle over here, and we have the connect with Apostle Johnson. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be using these 3 assets. Don't worry, all the assets that I've been using in the tutorial, the links to download them will be dropped down in this video description. What I'm going to do right now is to first of all create the background. So the next thing for me to do is to come to my picture over here, is to use this picture as my own background. So I'm going to drop this picture on my timeline like this. As you can see, we have black bar. So I will click on the picture, I will come to effect control panel and I will increase the scale. Now that I've increased the scale, the next thing for me to do is to bring down the opacity. I will bring it down to 35. So I will go back to my assets. I will bring this BG over here on this picture, and as you can see it's small. I will increase the scale as well. The next thing for me to do is to come to the blend mode and I will click on soft light. So the next thing for me to do is to drop this flower pink over it like this. So I will need to increase the scale as well. So right now the next thing for me to do is to click on this fire burning. I will drop it on it. I don't want the audio, so I'll click on the audio and delete it. I will trim it to the normal duration. I will click on the video and I will increase the scale as well. So the next thing for me to do is to come to this blend mode and I will click on screen. We have finished the laying of the background, so let us see how it looks. Okay, we've created that successfully, so let us go to our video. So now that we've created our own background, so let us put our foreground image. So first of all, for me to have a very easy timeline, I'm going to nest this thing together. I will highlight everything like this and I will right click, I will come to nest and I will call it background. So the next thing for me to do is to come to this picture and I will click on this picture. This is the picture I want to use. I will drop on it like this. So as you can see, this is a very small picture. So I will come to my effect control panel, I will click on the picture and I will reduce the scale to like 50. I will use my positioning to put it in a place I want it to be. Yeah, so I have properly aligned the picture where I want it to be. So the next thing for me to do is to come to the video and see what needs to be done. So now we've created the background, we've created the foreground. So the next thing for me to do now is to put the social media handle. So for that case, I'm going to come to my graphics here and I will search for PRM. Yeah, this is an asset I downloaded into my laptop. So I'm going to give you the download link to download it as well and put it in your Adobe Premiere Pro. So I'm going to search for the one of Instagram. This is it. I will click on on it and I'll drop it on the timeline. That is it over here. So I will look for the one of YouTube as well. Okay, this is one for YouTube. I will drag it and drop it on my timeline. I will look for the one of Facebook. Yes, this is one for Facebook, and I'll drop it on the timeline as well. So now I'm going to click on the one of Instagram and I will come to edit over here. So the first thing for me to do is to edit the scale. I don't want it to be too big, so I'll drop it at 45 and I will use my positioning tool here to adjust it to the upper side. So I think I'm okay like that. So I will click the one for YouTube as well. I will drop the scale to 45 and I will use my positioning tool here to drag it up as well. So I will click for the one of Facebook. I will drop the scale as well to 45 and I will use my positioning tool here to drag it to the upper side. So right now the next thing for me to do is to click one of Instagram and I will write the username, meaning what is their Instagram name. I will say Celebration TV. So that is the name, and I will change my font as well. So I will click on the one of YouTube and I will change the name as well to Celebration TV. I will click on the one of Facebook and I will do the same thing, Celebration TV. So I will click on this place and change the font. I will click on the one of YouTube as well and change the font, how it looks. So as you can see that this thing is more longer than the normal time frame we are trying to create. So the next thing for us to do is just to come to the end part of one of these places, and I see that they end exactly 4 seconds. So I will highlight every one of them like this. I will Ctrl R and I will reduce their duration to 4 seconds as well. So now we can see now that they are having the same time frame as that of the background and the foreground. So let us see how they looks. Okay, as you can see, we are done putting the foreground, the background, and the social media handle. So let us check the video that we are using. So the next thing for us to do right now is to connect with Apostle. So for me to do that, I will try to bring down my timeline like this. I will click on the text tool and I will write connect with over here. So I'm done writing my connect with. So the next thing for me to do is to use my align and transform tool to adjust this text in the way I want it to be. So I'm done arranging it. So for me to change the color, I will come to this here and I will click this black over here like this and I'll say okay. Yeah, as you can see, I've written connect with. So the next thing for me to write is Apostle Johnson Suleman. So for me to do that, I will click on the text tool and I will write Apostle Johnson Suleman over here. As you can see, I've written the Apostle Johnson Suleman. So I will use my align and transform tool to arrange it in a way I want it to be. Yes, so I'll properly align Apostle Johnson Suleman I want it to be. So the next thing for me to do is to align the both of them over here and bring them to the beginning. So the next thing for me to do is to play it and see how it looks. We are done with that. So the next thing for me to do is to export this video so we can merge the 3 videos together. So I will come to my file over here. I will come to export and I will say media. So I will say my output name where I want it to be saved. I will click on it. I don't want it to be saved here. I want it to be saved inside this folder. So I've chosen 1, 2. So this will be the number 3. I'll say 3 dots. I'll say save and say export. Okay, your video was exported successfully. So the next thing for me to do from here is to come to my editing panel here. So from here, I will come to this place and I will create a new bin, which is like a folder, and I will call it Sermon. So inside this folder, I will open the folder. So I will bring in the 3 videos we've been doing all these days. So this is the first one, second one, and the third one. So the next thing for me to do is to come to my project here. This is the outro sequence I created. I will right click on it and I will say duplicate. So in this case, I'm going to call this sequence main. I will come to the sequence and open it. Then I will delete everything inside it because I don't need them. So from here, I will bring in the number 1, which is the first one. I'll bring it inside. I'll bring the number 2 inside like this, and I'll bring the number 3 inside this way. So in this case, this is what we have. But the first one doesn't have an audio, I will delete the audio. Third one doesn't have an audio, I will delete the audio. So I'll bring in the audio I want to use for the both of them now. So this is the audio I wish to use for this project. I will say I on my keyboard to mark the in point, press O on my keyboard to mark the out point. I will drag, as you can see, audio only. I'll bring it under my timeline. I will shrink it a bit like this. I will press Alt key on my keyboard and move it to the end part as well like this, and I will drag it to the end. The next thing for me to do is to come to my effects and I will search for exponential fade. So in this case, it will make the audio to fade into the sermon. So I'll bring it here like this. I will bring this exponential fade here again. I will drag it out a bit and I will bring it in as well to this part. So now let us see how the video looks like.
The fellowship of his suffering. I'm going to say something here that you may not like to hear, but listen to me, everybody. If you must serve this God genuinely, you will suffer persecution. If you are going to somewhere, you must go through something. Except you are going nowhere. If you are going to, you must go through.
Yeah, thank you for watching this video from the beginning to the very end. This is all I have for you in this video. If you have any question concerning this video or the previous one we uploaded, you can use the comment section below to ask me any question. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will not be left out any day, anytime we drop the next one. Thank you.